Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, Anomaly Alley. My name is Sayla, and here we talk about the strange and unusual. From the Loch Ness Monster to the Bermuda Triangle, we do it all. Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 2. If you have not seen episode 1, I would suggest you go back and watch it to get a feel for the podcast. If you have watched it, though, thanks for coming back. This is going to be a fun adventure today. I think you're going to like it. Last episode, we talked about Bigfoot. Today, we're going a different way. We are talking about the Betz Mystery Sphere. Let's get into it. The Betz Mystery Sphere is a metal sphere with an approximate diameter of 8 inches, weighing nearly 22 pounds, uncovered in 1974 by a family in Florida. On March 27, 1974, the Betz family investigated a small brush fire near the residence in Fort George Island, Florida. The family of 3, man, I hope I say these names right, Antonine, Jerry, and son Terry, came across a small metal sphere the size of a bowling ball. Their first thought was the sphere had been a cannonball left from the New World consecrators. They decided to take the sphere back to their house. Several days later, Terry was playing the guitar in their home. The sphere seemed to react to the sound of the guitar. It made a throbbing noise. Later, the sphere was noticed to roll on its own and even stop on its own and change directions. Terry started doing experiments with the sphere. He noticed it would reverberate when hit with a hammer. He also found the sphere would move after being shaken and placed on the ground. The Betz reported that the sphere moved on its own several times, and that it would follow people around the house, seemingly on its own. Eventually, they stored it in the trunk, only to take it out to show friends and family. In April 1974, United Press International, UPI, reported the Navy said the sphere is nothing more than a huge ball bearing used to check valves in the piping system of some chemical plant. The same month, the Miami Herald reported that a similar ball in Jacksonville, near Fort George Island, had been identified as part of a valve once used in a paper mill. In June 1974, UPI further reported that the sphere had been examined by a group of scientists attending a conference sponsored by the Natural Inquiry. The group felt the object was constructed of some type of stainless steel made on Earth. At the time, the National Inquiry was offering a cash reward for any object proven to have come from outer space. At the time, New Mexico artist James Durling Jones, who had been collecting scrap metal for use of his sculptures. Jones reported having loaded ball check valves onto the rooftop luggage rack of his Volkswagen bus and having driven through the Jacksonville area around Easter of 1971, at which time a few balls rolled off the luggage rack and were lost. It was concluded that this was the sphere's origin. Hold up. There's one part of the story I have heard that isn't on here. When the Navy took the sphere and did tests on it and concluded it was just used to check pipe valves, the Betz family asked for it back, and they refused. Now nobody knows where it is. If it's just used with pipes, why won't the Navy give it back? I don't know, but what do you think? Wow, this really is quite the story. I mean, a sphere, some people think that it's just used to check pipe valves. Others think it's from some sort of spaceship or it's a UFO. I've heard similar stories of spheres like this. For example, on Skinwalker Ranch, which we will be doing a story about them soon, they see spheres in the sky all the time, and they about match the same description as this. But nobody's ever found one on the ground like the Betz. Especially the way it moved and reacted to the guitar. I mean, could a thing that checked pipe valves do that? Did the Betz just make it up? I don't know. And why did the Navy take it and not give it back? That is the part that makes no sense to me. What's my opinion? What do I think? I think the sphere is some sort of something the Navy, military, or government made that they don't want people to know about. Or some sort of UFO that they know about but don't want other people to. That's the only way I conclude what they did and why they wouldn't give it back. The real question is, what do you think? Side notes, I got pretty much the whole story from Wikipedia. Sorry, I've always wanted to say that. I also got some of the story from the Mystery Kids podcast. Thanks for listening. See you next episode.